This position is particularly important because it is dealing with China, one of our most important relationship diplomatically, particularly in Asia, with uh, China being our largest trade partner, as well as uh, a country that is playing a significant role on the global stage in the UN Security Council, in a lot of different multilateral organizations such as the East Asia Summit and APEC and so forth. But also it's a country that has significant influence and power around the world in terms of its economic power as well as even its growing military and security role. And so we need a leader, an ambassador who understands these issues, first of all. Two, understands the issues related to the economy because, again, as I mentioned, China is one of our largest trading partners as well as our largest investment partners. And three, the relationship between U.S. and China is very complicated. There are clearly areas that the two countries disagree on. Everything from the very political system that our two countries are based on. One is based on an authoritarian system, the other is based on a democracy. And so to work through some of those issues, you need a seasoned diplomat, a seasoned politician, a seasoned leader who can work with senior leaders on China. And certainly Max Baucus, Senator Max Baucus, and has the experience as well as the political acumen to work with the leaders in China. I see the role of the ambassador, three important roles for the ambassador in China. I think one is, first of all, he is the senior diplomatic representative in Beijing, representing the United States government and all of its policies and all of its interest in that country. And so certainly Senator Baucus, having his long years of experience in government, understands that and certainly understands the Obama administration's priorities in China. Number two, he is the face of America in Beijing. Being the ambassador, people look to him as representing the United States in Beijing. And so not only Chinese government officials will be talking to him on a day-to-day basis about the United States, but also the Chinese mass, the people, will be watching him and observing him. And certainly he will play an influence in shaping people's minds in China about what the United States is about and what it represents. And then number three, the ambassador will be looked to as someone to generate ideas and about the U.S.-China relationship. The relationship is very complex. It has many facets, everything from economics to security to cultural elements. And being the ambassador there, he is in charge of not only the day-to-day affairs of managing this relationship, this bilateral relationship, but he will be engaging other people throughout Chinese society, its governments, and talking and engaging and being involved in discussions and generating ideas about how to improve this relationship, how to strengthen it, and how to work through some of the toughest issues that the two countries will be facing in the coming years. These are two of the most important relationships, two of the important countries that have this important relationship. And whatever the condition of this relationship will impact the trend of the world in terms of economics, politics, climate, international security, the whole gamut. And so that's why this is such an important relationship. Well, there's a whole host of issues that Senator Baucus will have to deal with when he becomes ambassador in Beijing. Let's just start with the economic issues. Certainly, there's a significant trade imbalances within our relationship that he'll have to negotiate through. There are economic issues such as intellectual property rights and issues related to currency issues. These are all important issues that he dealt with as a senator, but also will likely have to deal with as a diplomat in Beijing. Let's look at security issues. Clearly there are areas of tension. For example, the tension between China and Japan over the Senkaku Diaoyutai Islands. That's something that the United States is not directly involved in, but certainly is concerned about the relationship of these two very large countries. and of course China's activities in the South China Sea. A lot of America's allies are involved in some of the tension between China and some of that region of the world. And also North Korea. Clearly North Korea is one of those very difficult issues that the U.S. and China, along with South Korea and Japan and Russia, are trying to work and deal with in how to manage non-proliferation nuclear issues. And clearly China plays a major role, and as the senior diplomat in China, he'll certainly play a role in that. Related to human rights and related to issues related to these kinds of cultural issues and social issues and political rights issues, yes, I mean, United States, that is a major part of United States diplomatic concern about China, and some of those things Senator Baucus, or Ambassador Baucus at the time, will have to talk with the Chinese government and ensure that it protects its people and respects the rule of law and its commitments to international agreements that the Chinese government has already signed on to. Well, I think it's very significant that we are sending another Montanan politician to Asia to serve as its senior diplomat in the region. As many of you know, Senator Mansfield, after serving many, many years as the majority leader, retired from the Senate in 1977 to become the U.S. ambassador to Japan and served there for 11 years. And now we're sending Senator Baucus, after serving more than almost 40 years in the Senate, and to become the ambassador to China, one of U.S.'s most important relationship globally. And I think why this is significant for Montana's is that Montana's, one of its largest export market is China, the third largest. And Montana is also increasingly globalizing in terms of its education, its outreach, and in terms of its people-to-people engagement. And this is just one step closer to getting Montana to become a more active member of the international community. Of course, Senator Baucus, when he becomes ambassador, will represent all of the United States, but we all know Senator Baucus cannot forget his roots in Montana and all the important experience and all the important inspiration he got from the state as its senior representative, as its senior senator. And so I see this as a tremendous opportunity for Montanan leaders, Montanan business people, Montanan educators to connect with our new ambassador in Beijing and to broaden the exchange between Montana and China. And I think he will not only continue this legacy of Montana's senior politicians playing an important role in Asia, but I think he's going to expand it and really create the next generation of how Montana leaders will play an important role on the global stage. Senator Baucus follows a long line of ambassadors who had strong economic background before they became a U.S. ambassador to China. If we look at Gary Locke, he was the Secretary of Commerce before he became the U.S. ambassador to China. And then before that, Ambassador John Huntsman. He was a deputy U.S. Trade Representative as well as a senior representative in the Commerce Department. Senator Baucus's role as the chairman of the Finance Committee certainly gives him that solid background in trade, in taxes, and other important economic issues. And so, again, this relationship between U.S. and China, a major part of it will be trade, and certainly he is the best person to serve this role, given his long years as the committee chair of the Finance Committee.